Ever since Daniel Larson was released from jail a few weeks ago, he has progressively gotten right back to where he was before he got put in jail. And I know this is not shocking, as we all kind of expected this the second we heard that he was getting out, but I mean, he's changing things up. Like, look, he's finally got a haircut. One minute he's ready to ball out once he gets his paycheck, the next minute he's in economic turmoil along with the rest of the world, apparently. Like, his community tab is a great insight into the little guy's mind, because you can tell every single thought he's having as he posts it right here on display. No matter how crazy it is or what people put into his head, he'll just put it right here, so it's really easy to follow along with everything Daniel's doing, despite it not making any sense. Daniel's had a very strange week, and as usual, we're gonna cover it here today. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just tell you this right now. Like, some of these community posts, some of the stuff he's putting on TikTok, it's clear that we're just getting the same old Daniel Larson. And I know that's not a shocking statement, as I already brought up in the beginning there, but I mean, he was only in jail for like 3 weeks, and now he's out. It looks like he's doing a little bit better, or at least trying to, because he's constantly talking about probation and this and that. So maybe he finally realizes that this is serious and he has to take it seriously, but I don't know if there's that little part in Daniel's mind that knows that no matter what he does, they're probably just going to let him walk again, because that's what they did the last time he was on probation. But it'll be interesting to see where the weeks ahead go with Daniel, but he's already done so much wacky stuff this week that I think it's worth talking about. So I hope you guys enjoy the video, and before we get into it, I want to give a word from our sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to give a big thank you to today's video sponsor, HelloFresh. Now, that thank you isn't just for sponsoring the video, but it's also for helping people eat a lot better and for a much lower price. So whether you're trying to save money, eat better, or stress less, HelloFresh is here to help you do all three in America's #1 meal kit today. And say hello to your most delicious year yet with fresh ingredients and chef-crafted recipes at a price you'll like, delivered right to your door. And I mean, look at some of this food. How can you not get hungry just looking at it? It's easy to make, and it's sent right to your door, so you don't have to get up, go to the grocery store, and get everything yourself. They bring it right to you. No more staring blankly at the fridge wondering what to make for dinner. Give HelloFresh a try and choose from 30+ calorie smart or protein smart recipes each week, packed with fresh ingredients, and everything arrives pre-portioned right at your doorstep for less hassle and more deliciousness. Just choose your recipes, select a deliver date, and HelloFresh handles the meal planning and the shopping. So all you have to do is open the box of your pre-portioned ingredients and get cooking. You can click the link in the description or just use my code SMOKY16FM to get 16 free meals plus free dessert for life while the subscription is still active. If you want to take care of your health and your wallet, there's nothing better you can do than going to sign up for HelloFresh. And another big thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring today's video.
The Vanderwalls and I are filing a lawsuit against Larsen Coin for stealing my likeness and making money off of it.
So something that's been a thorn in Daniel's side ever since he got out of jail is the thought of something called Larsen Coin. Now, I assume Larsen Coin is just another of the many coins, the many cryptocurrencies that have been going around over the past few years, and it's one that is in fact non-existent. However, Daniel believes that Bob of all people, his father figure who he likes to beat on whenever they're in a car together, Bob has some Larsen Coin. Grace, his fictitious girlfriend, who is a real person, but the relationship between them is fictitious, she apparently also has some Larsen Coin. The only person that doesn't seem to have any of this elusive Larsen Coin is Daniel Larson, and he's had enough of it, so he's gonna call Grace Vanderwall's mom, and they're gonna put a stop to this. Now, it's funny that he's now gonna call Grace's mom when the entire time he was in jail, he was under the impression that the only reason Grace wasn't bailing him out is because Grace's mom controlled her finances, and despite them being millionaires, well, she didn't want to cough up the $700 to $3,000 that was necessary to get Daniel out of jail. But now it apparently seems that all of that is water under the bridge, and the only person that can help him out in this venture is Tina Vanderwall herself. Again, I don't know who's playing the role of Tina Vanderwall. It's probably the same troll that's playing the role of Grace Vanderwall. But nonetheless, they now have Daniel Larson's trust, and it just shows you again how easy it is for these trolls to get in this guy's head. Because just a few days ago, he was cursing this woman, basically, saying that we need to get her out of the picture. And now she's the only beacon of light he has left. Poor Daniel, man. One day these people are your enemies, the next day they're the only people you can rely on. You know, if only he didn't beat the shit out of Bob in that car. It all goes back to that. Because that's another can of worms that's just incredibly confusing. Obviously, Bob still somewhat is involved in Daniel's life. To what extent, I don't know. But what I do know is that Daniel thinks that he's talking to Bob all the time, or at least hearing from people like Clark or the fake Grace Vanderwall that they've been talking to Bob. And 99% of these occurrences, I would assume they're not actually talking to Bob, just yet another troll posing as Bob. Daniel's whole life is really, really confusing.
Hey everyone, this is my new jacket.
Daniel shows off his new jacket, and it genuinely is something to be proud of, considering it's cold as a brick out there in Colorado. But look at this little modeling pose he throws down at the end there. Well, if you're wondering why he's doing that now, it's because apparently the trolls have convinced him to get into modeling, or at least the troll playing Grace Vanderwall has. Also, Daniel's trying to become an actor too, but we're focusing on the modeling here, because that little hand gesture of Daniel's, it's, you know, if it was only that, I'd be like, well, good on you, Daniel. You're modeling some clothes. That's maybe it's a new way that he wants to go about life. Screw singing and songwriting. It's time for Daniel to hit the runway. And then shortly afterwards, he posts this picture. Now, I'm not showing you what's below this, and genuinely, it's not anything like horrifying, as in Daniel posting pictures of his bird on his community tab again, which is something he's done numerous times. This is just Daniel shirtless, but with the face you see on screen right now, I can tell you're probably thinking the same thing I am, and it's that, man, I do not want to see what's below this picture in any way, shape, or form. And don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, I got you covered. I don't want to horrify you with this anymore, so I'm going to get it off screen. And what I will replace it with is this other picture Daniel took in the same pose basically, but in this one he has his mouth closed and it's kind of more blurry. I don't know which Larsen picture I like more, but I could see either of them on the front of any magazine, because this dude is just the next big thing in the modeling community, and these pictures absolutely prove it. In the next YouTube short Daniel posted right here, he's saying that him and Grace Vanderwall have an upcoming concert at Madison Square Garden. Now, I guess that means Daniel's heading back to New York. I mean, we all know this is some bullshit. There is definitely no Daniel Larson concert up at MSG. I mean, there's definitely no Grace Vanderwall concert there either, but you know damn well if Daniel really does think that this is a concert that's happening, he's going to try everything in his power to get there. Now, he may not be able to leave the state of Colorado right now. I don't know if that's a thing of his probation or not, but nonetheless, man, if he really thinks that there's going to be a concert there and someone will buy him another ticket back to New York, I could easily see him trying to get his ass back up there.
Who is attending the Oscars 2024? Let me know in the comments.
Well, alright, fuck it, let's check the comments. Kevin Herder's cousin says, I'm here and it's very boring. I wish you were here to perform, and Daniel agrees with that statement. Someone says, me, for making the album Daniel's Demise, and Daniel's response, emergency, SOS, like, holy shit, he just found the guy who made that terrible album about him, I guess. I've never heard of that one, but now we know. Speaking of no, that's Daniel's response to someone asking him if everything's okay. It's nice to see that there's still some people out there who have Daniel's best interest in mind, and by nice, I mean really weird. Someone asks Daniel if he will go to the Oscars, and Daniel responds, I can't right now. So Daniel is too busy with all of his legal stuff in Colorado, and it's a real shame because I had heard they had wanted him to present an award with Selena Gomez. Now, if you don't understand that reference, it will become much more clear in a few minutes here. And finally, a true and honest fan asks, hey Daniel, when will you host your next fan meetup? And Daniel responds, not until fans donate. So, like, well, what a shitty response for someone who might actually be your fan. Now, I highly doubt any person in this comment section is a genuine fan of Daniel Larson. There may be some white knights, but I don't think there's any fans. And even those people, the fans that don't exist, if they did exist, Daniel would treat them like shit. And that's just the truth of it. He did apparently get some donations from people, if he's to be believed, from his community tab, so probably didn't happen. But one thing that he tried to make happen was one of these meetups, because randomly the other night he had tweeted that he was going to be doing a meetup at some specific Colorado mall from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And it's just like with all the problems he's been running into recently, his last arrest was at the Aurora Mall, and like he's just going right back to whatever mall doesn't have him banned so he can have these like impromptu fan meetups where he's expecting people to just shower him with money. I don't know really what he expects here, but if other posts are to be believed, things are not going as planned. I assume people are just taking pictures of Larsen and running off, or Daniel just doesn't have the guts to actually ask them for money and feels offended when they don't just hand over some cash when asking for a picture with him. But this all just begs the question, what type of person wants a picture with Daniel Larson? Let alone, let's ask another question. What type of person would pay for a picture with Daniel Larson? Now, there are some of these people out here, considering Daniel gets like just phantom donations to his Cash App whenever he seemingly really is struggling for money. Is it Bob each and every time? I don't know. I don't think it can be him every single time. But there is some people who really just will throw Daniel whatever he needs, and it doesn't seem like those people are the ones seeing him in public.
Hey everyone, it is March 2024, and this is my new haircut.
Like, is it the haircut? I don't know, but like in some pictures he looks so much older. Like in that one right there, that little TikTok he made, he looks just like normal Daniel Larson, but in this picture on screen right now, like it looks like he just aged like 20 years overnight. He's like a chameleon, Daniel. Daniel then took this picture with somebody who I assume is a fan but didn't want their face to be on camera. Daniel looks pretty happy about this occurrence, probably because he thinks he's getting paid after the fact, but maybe this was the person he was talking about who took the picture and then didn't end up paying him. Well, it seems like that picture was taken on Daniel's phone, so it doesn't seem like this guy's ever going to get it. And why would he? His face isn't in it. Then again, that's probably a good thing, but these were all like community tabs and posts Daniel had made, and he hadn't gone live since he had gotten out of jail. Then out of nowhere he started going live for like 10 minutes here and there. It was like mostly bus rides and all that. And then out of nowhere Daniel went live for this random stream the other day that was pretty inconsequential, despite like one thing being really out of nowhere. So, do you see this picture on screen right now? This seems just like a normal Daniel Larson stream. Him looking down at the camera, you can see like his nostrils pretty easily, a bunch of people in the chat writing trollish comments. Really doesn't seem like anything out of the blue, until you look at the viewer count. Because let me tell you something, when I had seen this stream just recommended to me, Daniel Larson live with 36,000 viewers, I thought he had maybe done the craziest thing that any lolcow ever has done. I didn't know what it was, but I knew if this many people were watching, some shit had to go down. And what went down, ladies and gentlemen? Nothing. Nothing at all went down. It was just a run-of-the-mill Daniel Larson looking at the chat waiting for donations stream. And then you may wonder, well, why the hell were there 36,000 people watching this? There weren't. There were not. Daniel is simply being botted because as of right now, I've noticed a huge botting, like, I don't know if it's called like a problem because it's not happening to anybody but lolcows, so it seems like it's just being like something that's done for trolling. I've seen it happen to DSP, now Daniel, the people on the RVs of IP2 like have had this being done the other night. So it's going from community to community and everyone is getting view botted. DSP seems to know that this is all a crock of shit. The crackheads on the RV seem to know that this is a crock of shit. Daniel Larson, on the other hand, How do you think he reacts to something like this, right? Like, I've seen plenty of people saying comments, well, shit, he thinks he's famous as hell, and you don't think this is gonna further, like, embolden that claim? He thinks he had close to 40,000 people watching him. Matter of fact, he did at one point. He had about 41,000. I just don't have a screenshot of that. And so then you might wonder, what did Daniel think that he did to warrant all these viewers? Well, it was nothing he did. It was something that Selena Gomez did. Because Daniel was under the impression that Selena Gomez had either raided him or had shouted him out, and now all these droves of fans were coming to come see this artist at work. Now, the chat was just moving as fast as it usually was, people mostly trolling him, but Daniel was sure, he was sure as shit that this was happening. And you'd think he'd react in a positive way, but no, he just got kind of nervous and shut the stream down real quick. And I even saw some community posts, which we may get into here. I have no idea which community post we're going to look at the end of the video here, because I have so many of them. But in one of them, he definitely did bring up the fact that there were so many people watching him that he's now under high alert, and there's an emergency out there because so many people want Daniel right now. It's an interesting time to be Daniel Larson, because he in his mind thinks that his fame has never been at an all-time high. And honestly, has it? Like, that's the question I asked to you guys in chat. Daniel Larson videos and just people talking about Daniel Larson. I've never seen more videos or more people talking about him than I do right now. Like, it is crazy how much Daniel Larson shit has been, like, just spreading around the internet. And it's funny because he already believes he's this world-famous celebrity, and this is only gonna make him further believe that. Like, the more eyes on him, the worse, but it's only gonna happen with time. You can't just, people are gonna find out the story about Daniel and want to dig down that rabbit hole themselves. And I can't blame nobody for wanting to do that, because from an outsider looking in perspective, this shit is crazy. Like just explaining a little bit about Daniel Larson's regular life to people who aren't in the know about this guy, it seemingly piques their interest more than someone like a Chris or Cyrax ever has. But I think that's something we'll see, like, throughout the next year. Just Daniel taking that next step to be, like, the real, like, the locale that everyone knows, even more than Chris. I know that's a bold claim, but that's my prediction for 2024. And my only reasoning behind that is TikTok is one hell of a thing. However, there is one more thing I want to look at, and that is some of these wacky Daniel Larson community posts. So join me, will you, as we see what type of lunacy Daniel's trying to spark today. I'm expecting permanent housing next month. Well, that seems good for Daniel. He's been doing pretty bad financially lately, but everything's seeming to look up. Oh, apparently not, because the FBI is trying to keep him broke, and the FBI also just told him that harassment isn't a crime. So whatever troll is playing the FBI told him, hey, no matter how bad it gets with the trolls, not a crime. Don't know if that's exactly true. Hard landing with the economy, that seems like a Daniel thing to say. He then says get ready for a major shift in content. I think that's just him talking about the modeling he was planning on doing. The FBI is trolling us permanently. Someone is trying to put me in a state mental health hospital. Well, of course they are, with comments like that talking about the FBI trolling you. I have my mental health evaluation this week for probation. Yeah, probably don't bring up any comments about the FBI trolling you. He says I just got spotted. I'm now in danger. Oh shit. Shots fired. Help. What is happening over there? I just got shot at. I'm getting on-foot death threats? Like, what was happening this day? Like, obviously there was nobody, like, just actively firing at Daniel, but what happened that he thought that this happened? I'm very curious about this whole situation. We then get a slight update on this when Daniel posts a TikTok saying, I just got in extreme trouble with Bob for talking about being shot at. What the fuck? So apparently Bob told him probably to knock it off. Now again, is this real Bob or is this fake Bob? I feel like if it was fake Bob, he would have played into it and been like, wow, Daniel, we need to get the cops involved on this ASAP. But if it was real Bob, he was probably just like, oh, shut up, Daniel. If you're really hurt, I'll take you to the hospital. If not, like, just stop this. And but yeah, Daniel seems to think this is a very big deal. But again, I just ask, what happened here? Like did Daniel, like, maybe like he's heard like a clacking noise and he was like pretty paranoid to begin with at that moment and just thought like, holy shit, it happened. Kind of think like Cyrax and the ice bullet, know? Like he was already on edge from the trolls, and all it took was one little clacking noise that kind of sounded like a gunshot to make him think, oh my god. Like it's finally happening. They came for me just like they came for JFK. Daniel then calls for an emergency 5 times within an hour, saying, emergency, SOS, my bank account just collapsed again. Emergency, I'm almost out of Bitcoin I just put in. Now that happened despite Daniel's thinking that he has 70,000 Bitcoin in the bank. Emergency, probation is about to ramp up the pace. I don't really know what that one means, but it is an emergency. And then finally, emergency, I just got laughed at for Grace Vanderwall and I not spending time together in person. Now, I don't know who laughed at him for this, but it's a pretty justified thing to make fun of him for, because remember, this is the girl that he genuinely thinks is his girlfriend. He falls into this same trap every single day with these trolls saying, hey Daniel, you know, this is gonna happen, you're finally gonna get to meet Grace, and he's like, okay, that's great, I can't wait for this. And then it inevitably doesn't happen, again, every single day, but he still holds on to that hope, and still thinks that one day they're gonna be together. And so this had to hurt Daniel, because you know that he really thinks that one day this is a possibility, and that right now, you know, he's just working on his career, she's working on hers, and they're gonna get together one day. Now, maybe he thinks that, or his mind is just like some crazy convoluted bullshit that none of us could comprehend, but yeah, it seems like this is finally getting to Daniel, and he himself might start questioning, well, you know, why can't I see Grace? How can I see Grace? And let's just all hope that doesn't happen, and he remains the same confused Daniel for the rest of time, because if he does start questioning that, like I've brought up in past videos, we're looking really close to Daniel trying to go like see where Grace lives and all that. And if he ever says that even once, if you're one of these trolls and he says that to you, just completely push that thought out of his mind. So that was really the update with Daniel this week, just your classic Larsen lunacy, and I really do get the worry that this is just gonna ramp up any day now. I know Daniel says that himself in his community tabs, but usually he's just talking about, like, you know, the economy, or in his mind what the economy does, but really it just seems like he doesn't have a place to stay. He's gonna be going back to try to like hide in the corner of some department store until it closes, but he always gets caught, probably because there's a bit of like a, you know, like you can get a whiff of him if you're walking around that area, so he probably isn't very inconspicuous. He's pretty easy to spot, and it's just, it feels like we're rolling towards more Larsen bullshit. So I think we can all sit here and hope that maybe he takes it easy, doesn't go bother the people of Boulder, but we all know it's an inevitability. So when, ladies and gentlemen, Larsen eventually goes back to doing all the crazy nut shit he always does, I'll be here to update y'all on it, and we can all put our head in our hands and just go, God damn it. They couldn't just keep him in jail, like they had to fail us again, because Larsen's back on the street, and what a weird time it is, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say thank you again to HelloFresh for sponsoring the video, and my promo code right there, Smokey16FM again, and thank you to all you goats for always supporting me and getting to the end of the video here today. We are on the road to 100,000 subscribers, ladies and gentlemen. We're just about to hit 91K, and I'm sure we can do this within the next month or so. So to all you guys who've subscribed, and to all you who plan on it, I say thank you, and thank you for always showing your boy love and showing me some support. Until the next time, I am out of here, and I hope to see y'all later. Take care, guys, and have a safe rest of your week.